This is another YouTube video. I save it on my Facebook because it can go directly onto my phone gallery thingy too. I got a haircut. See this? This is another update. Did I clean my apartment yet? The answer is no. I had to get up early 2 times. Like for school, I hardly had any sleep. And I'll tell you why later with that. And 2, I had to wake up early today for therapy. And that's what I want to tell you about right now. With school now, I recently had an argument with a friend who I met through another friend of mine on Facebook. Let's just call him Chris. I'll just say Chris is his name, but there are a lot of Chris's, but the Chris in town, my town, not the Chris out of state. But Chris, he knew this lady, and he told her, "Oh, Nora loves Eeyore," and so she messaged me and says, "Oh, I heard that you love Eeyore," and stuff like that, and we should get together. And that was like, I think, almost a year now, over a year or so. And so, we went out here and there, out to eat and whatever, and it started to get downhill. And what really did piss me off is, here, I will open this up here. Is there like a pause button on this thing? I don't know. I don't see a pause button on this thing. Dang it. I'll have to find it really quick. Like for example, right here. September 28th. She drove me around while we were trying to decide where to go for lunch. We couldn't decide until after she was done in Target. She let me run inside Big first to get my coffee. After Big she went into the drive-thru line at Culver's. That's where she says she has to clean her house up. She says that I can still come and eat my Culver's. I picture this, me eating while dust is flying on my food. God, even at the nursing home where I dusted the hallways, I wasn't allowed to dust the dining areas and when people were eating because the dust would land on their food. You know what I mean? I couldn't even dust in the dining areas at all. The boss there says, wait until they're done and then you can clean the dining room. So I did. So, yeah. So, yeah, I nicely said to her, you can take me back to my place and I'll eat there. And I'll tell you more about another friend, Sarah, later. Nora, really? What? Now I see what Sarah means. You want me to buy you lunch and take you back to your place. Again, leave Sarah out of your argument. If you wanted to clean, you could have told me in advance. Instead, at the last minute, you want me to eat at your house? What is the most important? The time with me or cleaning your house? You can't have both. Real mature responding like that. Seriously, real mature. And I did tell her I would pay her back, because she pays me for lunch and stuff. As soon as I get a large amount of paycheck money, like for example, if I get paid $150 and I use only like $50 out of that 100, I could pay her 100. Or, what am I saying? If I, pay, use up the 50, I can give her whatever is left or whatever is left in the paycheck. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was telling her. So yeah, if she thinks I am using her, I am not. And I blocked her on Facebook. And, what really pissed me off and depresses me is that I went to Winnie the Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, and she paid for my ticket. Come on. She paid for the ticket. Okay. Pretty disgusted by her and offended by her behavior. She should have better planning skills, like seriously. Okay. If she wanted me over to eat lunch, she could have waited until I went back to my apartment for her to clean. Instead, she stated I can eat while she cleaned. And what recently happened is, what day was that now? Last Friday. This last Friday? Okay, I got the impression that she wanted to have me with her to keep her company while she drove around town. On Facebook chat where we talk. I had asked her about Dairy Queen to get the Blizzard. And she says it's too cold for that. I wanted to get the Oreo Blizzard frozen hot chocolate one. That looked good. So I thought that we can go out next week. She said, and I quote, I need to take Dory to the vet and go to Kohl's. You can come with. I asked her, and I quote, can we go to Quick Trip for a coffee? I can see what they have too. What I meant, see what they have for food, like pizza or whatever. She says at 10:50 I will be there in 10 minutes. Well, no. I went up to my apartment, took my jacket off, trying to decide what I wanted to eat at home. Because I was going to get food at Quick Trip. Okay. It wasn't until 11:20 when she says on text, I'm here, hurry up. I wanted to say back, nope, you can go alone. I had waited over 20 minutes for you. Even Dr. Phil had said that it's rude and disrespectful to wait over 20 minutes for someone. Next time, if anyone is late like that, I will say those things. When I went back downstairs, I noticed she was on the phone and didn't even apologize for being late. And that's another thing. That's a problem. Okay, she lives around the corner. It shouldn't take 20 or 30 minutes to come here. When somebody says I'll be here in 10 minutes, boom, I want them here. Even my dad told me. When his dad says, my grandfather, oh, I'll pick you up at the movie theater and at this and this and time. I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock at night. And if you're not there at that same place where I dropped you off, walk home. Okay? So, I'm going to be that way with people now. I'm not going to take that rudeness anymore, honey. So, and with her being on the phone too, but I explained to my therapist today, it wouldn't have been a big argument if she said to the person she's talking to, look, I know you're having a hard time right now, but I gotta go. I have a friend with me, and that's more important. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Instead of doing that, she was on the phone the whole time. Saying, Nora, this is what we're doing today. And I wouldn't have picked up food from Quick Trip. I would have just gotten a coffee or whatever. And she didn't even go to Kohl's. Okay. And even when we stopped at Quick Trip, I was like, for a second, where the hell are we going? Because, in my town, there's like a Quick Trip gas station, like down the road from Kohl's or whatever. And we weren't even going in the direction to Kohl's, for fuck's sake. And so I was like thinking, where the fuck are we going, honey? And so she's still jabbering on the phone while I'm thinking that. And I'm like, okay, Quick Trip first, and then Kohl's, okay. And so I go, do you want to come in with me? She goes, no, still on the phone. And I go, okay. So I pick out hash brown and egg sandwich, not egg salad sandwich, but egg salad. Egg sandwiches, like that. Egg McMuffin thing. And so I got hash browns and I got a nice coffee for all for $6. Okay, and I come out with the bag. I come out with my iced coffee, and she saw that I had the bag there. Okay, and then I go, can we go to the job center? And she was like, still on the phone. And then I repeated, can we go to the job center? So I can ask them something real quick, because it was just next door to the Quick Trip, okay? And so she drove me in there, and I asked about the question, what I want to ask. I want to take a career assessment test for school, so then I can know what route I can take in school for classes. So they said I got to go through my counselor there. So I go, okay. So that's what I wanted to know. And then I went back in the car, and by this time she was done on the phone. And then we drove to the vet. And when she was in the vet, I was eating my 2 hash browns. And then she comes out minutes later. She's all pissed off, saying, oh, I came out here for nothing. And then she gets in the car with the dog. And then and I take out the egg sandwich, and she goes, I am very upset with you. I am very upset with you, Nora. Didn't we agree to go out to lunch today? Didn't I say? She was like scolding me like I was a kid. That's one of my triggers. You don't scold a 36-year-old like that. You don't. Okay? I'm not a kid. I'm not a little girl. Alright? Okay? And then she exhalates her anger and brings my dad into it, saying, oh, now I know why your dad is upset with you hauling you places. And what does she say here? She said something like, you gotta think about other people's time. They don't have the time like you do. I already know that. And so I think she's just saying that I was wasting her time when really she wasted mine. Okay? Being 30 or 20 minutes late or whatever. And I mean, wouldn't you be pissed off? And so, in therapy today, my therapist said, put her in the back of your mind and just say you don't care if she tells anybody else about you, like her coworkers, where she works or whatever. You don't care. So what? If she talks that way about you, so what? Like if she says, oh, Nora is so angry, she needs anger management. Okay? Alright, I think she needs anger management. Or see a therapist, that's what I think. And I think since she has a 15 or 14-year-old son, why didn't that relationship didn't last with her boyfriend or husband? Bad communication skills like she did with me. Maybe she talked down on him, the husband or boyfriend, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with this lady. You know? And my therapist, she's married and has like 2 or 3 kids. Why is she married? She has good communication skills. They talk. That's why friendships and marriage lasts. And if my sister acted that way to Shane, he'd be like, "Ugh." You know, they'd probably be in marriage counseling or something. I'm just stating the facts. You know, you don't talk to me that way. You don't scold an adult that way who has disabilities. You don't do that. Okay? And with Sarah, she lives in Florida, and I told my counselor therapist about this too. And she says that she has a blunt personality, and I felt like she was also making fun of me and making fun of fat people. Like, for example, this fat guy still works at Bigby. Does he still work at Bigby? And I go, that's not nice to say that. That's not nice to ask that. If, for example, if somebody is a waitress and you sit down at your table and you say, hey, fat lady, fat waitress, how's it going? How's your day, fat waitress? Is that rude or disrespectful? Disrespectful. She works with special needs kids. Thinks it's a fact. If it's a fact, then it's okay to state that. What if the special needs kids don't know any better and say, hey, fat man, how's it going? They might say, excuse me, kid. What did you call me? See? So I took her off my Facebook too. So I just wanted to vent to you about that. This is why I didn't get enough sleep Monday, the day before Monday, because I had to take a nice, hot, warm bath to calm myself down from this bullshit. You know, I just had to, you know. And I didn't fall asleep until 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, and I woke up at 9. So that's my life story. That's what's happening. So, alright, I am shutting up. Feel free to comment, YouTubers. Hee haw.